Good morning, everyone. And this is Satiraj. So, I've given the topic to lecture on depth first search. And before getting into this depth first search, let me give an overview on this topic called depth first search, why DFS. So, there is a topic called graph traversal. That is one of the most important topic in data structure. So, get graph traversal. I mean, traversing each and every node in a graph or in a tree. Even tree is called a graph. And this in this graph traversal, we have two techniques. I mean, two methods called breadth first search, depth first search. So, breadth first search. I shall take 2 minutes to explain this. The first part is called BFS, breadth first search. It is also called level order. I mean, the reason it is level order means where it will be start, where it will visit the adjacency list of vertices in a level order, like level 0 and then level 1 and then level 2. In this way, BFS will be working. And BFS uses queue in doing this. And about depth first search, so depth first search, so DFS algorithm is a traversal algorithm or it is a graph traversal algorithm. Just give me a minute. So a DFS algorithm is a graph traversal algorithm which works by looking into a depthward, getting forward and looking into a depth. It gets into a depthward motion and whereby it finds a nearby adjacency vertices, adjacency nodes. And if there is no adjacency vertex, I mean, when it is reached that, when it is tells us that we have reached the dead end, I mean, we have achieved the dead end. So we'll not be having further any more nodes, further any more vertices to move on and to search for a path. So there, then from their path, from that dead end node, we will be looking back again. I mean, we will be coming backward again to visit the nearby unvisited vertices. And this process is called backtracking. Like, so this is one of the most important thing in backtracking in depth first search, which is not there in breadth first search. Okay, so this is a short overview of depth first search. And now let's see. So to do depth first search, we should be aware of three things. One is what is mean by visiting a vertex. So what is called visiting a vertex? So visiting a vertex is like traversing a node, what we call traversing a node. And visiting a node, traversing a node, whereby after visiting it, we'll be getting into the unvisited node to visit a node. And exploration of a vertex. So let me take an example. So the initial vertex can be anything. You can start from any vertex. You can start from root node, or you can start from any node. So let me take that. I started from the root node and I just moved on the left side of the node. And what I should do is, once if I start from the root node, I should find out all the nearby, I mean, all the adjacency vertices to this particular node. That is called exploration of a vertex. Once I reach a vertex, from that vertex, I will be looking for all the possible adjacency vertices. All that is called exploration of a vertex. And backtrack as I do earlier. And to do this depth first search, we have three rules. And let me tell you each and every rule. So rule one is first start. You can select an initial node, and that initial node will be initially unvisited vertex, and just visit that vertex and mark it as visited, and display it. Now push it in a stack. And why do we need stack here? Is what we are going to do with stack is DFS uses a stack to remember where it should go when it reaches a dead end. So once I reach a dead end, where I should go. And second rule, and if no adjacency vertex is found, pop up vertex from a stack, right? And that will tell you from where you should start and where you should keep going further. And repeat these two rules until until you get until you find no unvisited vertices in a given tree or graph. Okay, so still if you get even an unvisited node, that should be marked as visited, and then you should look further. And you can terminate this process once if you reach where you can't find where you are unable to find no unvisited vertices in a tree, right? So algorithm, this depth first search has been implemented, have been used widely in recursive manner, in a recursive fashion. In some problems, it can also deal in a non-recursive manner, but mostly we go with recursive function. So first create a recursive function which takes the index of a node and the visited array. Then mark that current node as visited, print that node, and then as I said, traverse all the adjacent. I mean, explore from that vertex and try to find all the nearby vertices. And let me take example and shall explain it. Okay. So here, this is the initial root node. I'm taking this as the initial root node. From this initial root node, I will be getting into the depth. Okay, so from this initial root node, I will be getting into a depth. For example, I will be getting into a depth, right? So I will be getting into a depth. So I moved from A to B. So first, initially, I will be taking this A as my root node. Okay, so I will be taking this A as my root node. So that is what first thing, and then I will be marking this as a visited node. So once this is marked as a visited node, I should explore. Explore means I should find out all the adjacency adjacency vertices and adjacent to this A are B, C, and D. So I will be getting into B. Now I reached B. Now B is an visited vertex. Now I should look for the alternates. Now I should look for the exploration. Now I should find all the adjacent list E and F. So I'll be getting into E. Okay. So first I started with A. First I started with A, and then I move on to B, and then I move on to E. And now from here E. So I reached E, and I don't have any any node from E. I can't find any unvisited adjacency vertex from E. So I need to backtrack, right? I need to backtrack. That is the meaning called backtracking. I need to backtrack. I need to backtrack to B. So from B, I have one adjacent vertex from F, that is called F visit unvisited. So I will be marking it as F. And now from F, I don't have any no more nodes. So it has reached an end. So it is back. Now I need to backtrack. So I need to backtrack. I will be getting into B. I can't find any unvisited vertex from here, so I will be getting into A again. So from A, I can find unvisited vertex C. So after reaching C, I don't have any unvisited vertex. I need to backtrack. I will be getting back to A, and now I will be getting back to D. Okay. So now I have visited all the nodes of a tree, and now let me write an order. The root node that I started as A, then I went to B, then I went to E. So there, then we are done with the backtracking. So in backtracking, we got F. So from there, backtracking, we moved to A, and then we went to C. From there, backtracking, we moved to D, right? So A, B, E, F, C, D. So it is the traversal order of this depth first search, and it also can be called like this is pre-order traversal. It is a pre-order traversal of it. To do a pre-order traversal, you'll be getting the same result. So this is a small example for depth first search. And the next part is complexity analysis. See, I'm not getting into detail about this topics since it is given only 5 minutes. I'm trying to cover all the important points of DFS. So time complexity. At any worst case, I need to visit if my node is at the last end. I should visit to reach my node. I should visit all the other nodes. At worst case, even it is a worst case. So the order of this time complexity is V plus E. I mean number of vertices and number of edges in a graph. So time complexity is O of V plus E. And space complexity, even in the worst case, I need to store. I mean, I'm going to store each and every visited array in my stack, right? So the space complexity is going to be order of V. So this is complexity analysis applications. So first application is like where it can be get used. So DFS is used to find the path between two nodes, and it can also be applied in to perform topological sorting, which can be used to schedule the jobs from a given dependencies among them. And third, it can also be used to find the solution to a puzzle. Like for example, this I can tell you an example. Finding a path out of a maze. Finding a path out of a maze. So with the path stored in a stack. Okay. So it is one more example for this DFS. So these are few applications of DFS. Thank you. So that's all about DFS in short. So let me just give an overview of the topics. So first, what is graph traversal? Next, what is BFS? Next, what is DFS? And in doing DFS, what are the things that we should be known? And what are the rules to be get followed in DFS? And why we need a stack data structure to use this DFS? And next, the example, complexity analysis followed by applications. Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you.